Hey, what's up, audience? It's Drone Thrust. Tonight, I want to have a discussion about the entertainment industry. It seems like two unlikely celebrities have dominated the entertainment industry of 2025. And those celebrities are, of course, Mr. Beast and Taylor Swift. Um, Taylor Swift had just released, the Life of a Showgirl album. I listened to the songs. I thought it was solid. It was entertaining. Is it like my favorite album? I mean, I would not necessarily say that The Life of a Showgirl is my favorite type of music, but I understand that it will satisfy the audience. I happen to like Britney Spears, and Madonna more. They did music that was more my type of music, but then again, I'm 40 years old, and Taylor Swift is trying to sell music to people who are 17 and 23. So there's going to be stylistic differences between what I like and the audiences that Taylor Swift is selling to. Now, Taylor Swift's year was not without controversy. So, what's like a big, issue that was a boondoggle for Taylor Swift? Well, actually, I believe the Blake Lively trial, the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni lawsuit, was a boondoggle for her. You know, uh, Taylor Swift got drawn into the Blake Lively lawsuit because Justin Baldoni subpoenaed her text messages. And in the text messages that Justin Baldoni subpoenaed, we learned that Blake Lively claimed that Taylor Swift was a dragon who was going to join her crusade against Justin Baldoni. Now, I personally believe that Justin Baldoni was guilty of SHing, Blake Lively. I think that most of what Blake Lively claims about Justin Baldoni is true, but however, I think Blake Lively put her foot in her mouth in suing Taylor Swift. First of all, the negatives for Blake Lively have increased to the point of ridiculousness. And in that sense, I would say 2025 was a terrible year for Blake Lively, but she did, what she had to do. I mean, Justin Baldoni treated the set like, he apparently, it appears to me that Justin Baldoni treated the movie set like it was his fiefdom and no rules applied to him. So, hey, what's up, Dustin Plays? I'll give you a shout out, Alexander. Thank you for joining this podcast. We're going to talk Taylor Swift, Mr. Beast, and the 20. I'm going to give you a review of 2025 entertainment from all angles. Yeah, so Taylor Swift, had to break off her friendship with Blake Lively because Blake Lively got too controversial for her. That was how that the Blake Lively lawsuit dominated Taylor Swift's 2025 until she released the new album and started going on, YouTube podcasts trying to explain the inspiration for her songs and why she won't be performing at the NFL Super Bowl. I mean, I think that one reason why Taylor Swift isn't going to perform at the NFL Super Bowl is because the Chiefs will lose even if they're in it. I think that's going to be a stressful night for her. Um, uh, so one thing that amazes me about Taylor Swift is her ability to strike licensing deals for astronomical costs. Did you know that Disney paid Taylor Swift like $100 million to stream her Eras Tour concert? So yeah, so Disney, is a company that has, millions of workers that get paid minimum wage, but they're paying Taylor Swift $100 million for some clips she has of the Eras tour. In true Taylor Swift fashion, people who own Disney are going to see footage of, the Eras tour, and Taylor Swift is going to collect an extra $100 million off of this. Um, I mean, you would have to say that Taylor Swift is one of the preeminent, business geniuses of our time. And another thing that Taylor was known for this year was repurchasing the rights to her masters. Yes, Taylor Swift doesn't have to re-record all of her old albums anymore because she now owns the rights to them. I think that one controversy, with surrounding Taylor Swift is that in re-recording all of her old songs, it would seem to me like she bamboozled the people who purchased the rights to those songs. I mean, if you're a Shamrock Holdings, and you learn that, you uh your investment in Taylor Swift's masters is going to go kaput because she's going to dilute the market with new recordings of the tracks that you purchased. I'm sure you're furious. So yeah, I'm pretty, certain that Shamrock Holdings was glad to resell, Taylor Swift's music back to her because she ruined their investment. I think that the effect that, of Taylor Swift repurchasing her old masters after re-recording them is going to be negative for, aspiring artists because it's going to make it so that potential investors won't ever purchase recordings from up and coming stars again. Taylor Swift's repurchase of her own masters, makes it difficult for people like Chappelle Roan and Sabrina Carpenter to sell the rights to tracks to albums like The Fall of a Midwest Princess and Manchild. In like 5 years, I'm sure that Sabrina Carpenter is going to need like a $200 million cash infusion in order to subsidize her lifestyle. The only way for people like that to, get the $200 million is to sell the rights of their recordings to a private equity firm like BlackRock or Shamrock. Because Taylor Swift made it. Taylor Swift basically, I think, hurt a lot of our artists in, repurchasing her masters after diluting them when they were sold to investors. But good for her. She got them back fair and square. She didn't violate any laws, in re-recording her, old songs. But as a social commentator, the way I see it is that when you have an elite celebrity like Taylor Swift, bamboozle her investors who paid her a fair price for the recordings at the time, I have to look at that and say that, yeah, yes, Taylor Swift is someone who, understands the business world very well and might be using her star power, in order to prevent other aspiring artists from making a lot of money by setting a dangerous precedent for, investors who seek to purchase intellectual property. Um, yes, so that can summarize the year of Taylor Swift. She's totally dominated the entertainment landscape. I mean, I think that Sabrina Carpenter is Taylor Swift's mini me. What do I think of Sabrina Carpenter? I think she's very talented. She tries to be a little more humorous than Taylor Swift. I think Sabrina Carpenter's trademark, is her sense of humor. I think she's more of like a jokester than Taylor, but Sabrina is very young, and she has to go through like 10 different boyfriends before she gets to the level that Taylor Swift, has achieved. Um, Well, let me see what more is there that I could say about Taylor Swift. I mean, I think that uh, the Justin Baldoni case, is going to, portray, shine an interesting light on her. When the case goes to trial, after the case goes to trial and Blake Lively wins, which I predict she will, I'm going to wonder if Taylor Swift refriends her. I think that you might see Blake and Taylor go to the bar they might go to the bar together. Once Blake Lively has no scandal attached to her. Because Taylor, I found her song "Canceled" to be interesting. In the song "Canceled," she claims that she likes to hang out with people who are controversial, but the paparazzi pics, seems to indicate that Taylor Swift only hangs out with people who are non-controversial A-listers, like the famous basketball player. I forgot her name. She's Caitlin Clark. Yeah, those are the types of people that Taylor Swift hangs out with. She doesn't in any way associate with people who have a scandal attached to her, because that would drag down her name. Uh, what do I think of, Travis Kelce? Oh, it's interesting. Travis Kelce is joining aboard. He's joining up with some investors to rescue Six Flags. Um, Six Flags is America's best amusement park company, but because of consumer trends, it's just not doing very well. Yeah, I put Mr. Beast in my background. I'm going to talk about Mr. Beast later, but now I'm talking about Taylor Swift. I want to spend like an hour, every day on this channel talking about celebrities, because I think that that's the way to make money. Taylor Swift is nice. Money does change a person's. Shame on you. Yes, I do believe that coming into money will change a person. Taylor Swift hasn't done anything illegal. Yeah, my criticism of Taylor Swift is that okay, so what's another thing that Taylor Swift did that I'm gonna talk about? Oh yeah, she released, I think, like 13 different versions of her album. Each version of the album that you could have purchased has different attributes to it. If you were to purchase every single version of Taylor Swift's album, it would have cost you like $300. There's a lot of talk on the internet that doesn't qualify as being art. It qualifies as being exploitation. Yes, Taylor Swift, exploits. Some people would say that Taylor Swift exploits her audience in order to, make more money than she needs. I don't have a problem with people having money. I don't think we have a real problem, in America with income inequality. I think that the problem in America is economic jealousy. So I defend Taylor Swift's right to use chicanery to make as much money as she wants, but there comes a point wherein she should focus more on being an artist, rather than make generating sheer amounts of revenue through whatever means necessary. I mean, it does. My criticism of Taylor Swift, that it seems like she just tries to generate as much money as she can, through whatever means necessary. And that thesis is borne out by the fact that she sold like 13 different versions of her latest album, at a cost that would have cost you $300 for all of the versions, so you could hear the same, 13 songs. I think that isn't something that I consider to be a form of art. All right, so what's another musical act that I like to talk about? But so there's an obscure Canadian band called the Birthday Massacre. Uh, the instrumentals are played by men, and the lead singer is a female, Chibi, also known as Sarah Taylor. Listen to their music. They put out a killer album called Pathways. uh, I wish more people would listen, to the Birthday Massacre. That was my favorite music album released of 2025. Yes, Pathways by the ever obscure band called the Birthday Massacre. Okay, so now let's go on to movies. I'm going to complain about why I didn't see a single movie this year. Although I have the Formula One DVD, so the lone new movie that I will have seen this year is, Formula One starring Brad Pitt. I mean, I've seen the trailers to movies, and they don't look that good. Like I saw the trailer to Mission Impossible, and was not inspired to want to go see it. If you look on YouTube and type in the search Hollywood in a state of decline, you're going to see that like a lot of professional YouTubers are complaining about how Hollywood is ran by cynical executives who attempt to put bake messages into their movies that audiences just don't want to see. They're saying that the writing is there's a lot of complaints in Hollywood about writing just not being good enough. A lot of people are furious over the fact that Hollywood recycles old IP too much. People are saying that there's too many Avengers movies. There's too many. Uh, there's a lot of criticism of DC and Disney. A lot of people don't like the fact that Disney has apparently ran the Star Wars franchise into the ground. Now, I can't comment about any of the last 55 Star Wars films that Disney has produced because I haven't seen them. I've seen their trailers and they look very boring. I don't like to. My idea of fun is not to go to the movies and see a special effects extravaganza, that the Disney produces that has no soul. I um I'm fan based. If it's fan based, if an army could ask her one question, what question would I ask Taylor Swift? Okay, so I mean, I guess I would ask Taylor Swift how she thinks AI is going to influence the movie industry, the music industry. Um, I've generated plenty of AI songs and posted them on this channel. I think that they're excellent. And the funny thing about AI is that the generation of AI songs we have now are in their infancy. So in 10 years, AI music will be better than, real music. I just don't think AI music is going to have as many curses in it. I think it's going to be too censored for us to find entertaining. Yeah, AI music, the AI music that you could generate now on Udio and Suno is very censored, and I like yeah, I like my music to be, a little bit more violent and raw, but. I can maybe not so much violent, but I don't like PG-13 movies or music that much. Although I'm not asking that the music is obscene. Yeah, so that would be my question for Taylor is what type of effect will AI have on your future music productions? But, I doubt that Taylor Swift would want to, use AI to create music. Um, okay, so yes, back to movies. We had we had good movie offerings from we had some mediocre movie offerings from Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in the way of Mission Impossible and Formula One. I have the. I looked at the Mission Impossible trailer and it just to me looked like a bland action movie. Tom Cruise made a mistake. I mean, the problem that Tom Cruise made was doing too many Mission Impossible movies. He spent the later years of his life when he should have been acting and earning Oscars doing these cheesy, repetitive Mission Impossible franchise movies, which only show him doing stunts that no one cares about. I mean, I don't understand why Tom Cruise believes that we want to see him swing on a rope, off a building. I mean, Tom Cruise is he's a very controversial character, and I've skewered him on all of my social media posts. But it frustrates me that Tom Cruise plundered the prime of his career doing too many cheesy action movies and not honing in on his acting chops. I would like to see Tom Cruise do more films like Magnolia. I would like to see where how well he could act in the future. I think he's got to stop doing action movies. Yes, and Hollywood will have to adapt to a future wherein, AI will have a dramatic effect on the writing of scripts and on, the special effects of movies. In the future, it's just not going to cost as much money to create a movie, because special effects are widely available. You could use Grok, Imagine AI to create movie scenes if you want that look okay. I mean, it's obvious that, Grok AI, it's obvious when you look at an AI snippet from Grok that it's not a professional movie studio, but the studios have got to realize that, in the next 20 years, AI will dominate the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry will be wrestled away, will have its production wrestled away from the whims of directors and producers. It will be more democratized. As Ben Affleck said, in the future, movies are going to be, the movie industry will have many more voices in it because of AI. Now the problem with AI in the movies is that AI will create an internet filled with spam. I mean, I use AI to spam, but I worry that the hosting sites like YouTube are going to, have to start charging people to host, the thousands of hours of AI videos that they upload onto their servers. Every video upload takes some, you know, carbon emissions to fund. I mean, it takes energy to store worthless AI YouTube videos, and it seems like YouTube is cracking down on spam, and the content creators who use AI to generate videos are suffering. YouTube is getting rid of. They're cracking down on faceless channels through channel banning. All right, so let's talk about Mr. Beast now. Yes, Mr. Beast is the star of my video. He's known, Mr. Beast, I think, is more influential than Taylor Swift. If you look at Mr. Beast's YouTube page, you're going to see that he has, all right, so in the past 365 days, Mr. Beast has received 124 million subscribers. That's more. I think Taylor Swift only has like 60 million YouTube subscribers. Um, Mr. Beast's projected revenue per month is 26 million to 72 million per month. You know, Mr. Beast has a difficult time finding advertisers, on for his channel because his videos get more ratings than the Super Bowl. When I've been alive for 40 years, I've never seen an amateur content creator create videos that get higher ratings than the Super Bowl, because he has, just like a massive production team that does game show type stunts, with contestants. I guess I would describe Mr. Beast as being the premier game show host of our time. He's like Bob Barker on steroids. Um, Mr. Beast is not without controversy, though. Like a lot of people say that his Feastables lunch, his Feastables cause diabetes. Uh, he makes a lot of money selling chocolate bars, which aren't good for you. I mean, I've had his chocolate bars; they're good, but I realize that if I feast on the Feastables, for too much, then I'm not going to be in shape, and so I try to stay away from any type of food that Mr. Beast sells because I don't think it's healthy. He is taking on Lunchables with Lunchly. Um, I've never had a Lunchly meal, but no, I'm not a fan of Lunchables anyway, so that doesn't mean that much to me. So yes, but his next show on Amazon Prime is Beast Games. He's going to try to make it this time so that the smartest contestants win. Mr. Beast understands that you're not going to get a big audience to watch your game show if the winnings, if the games are won through randomness. I applaud the fact that Mr. Beast is attempting to make the show more involving to the audience, and that I like the fact that he's trying to get make it so that the more intelligent or stronger contestants win. I it does seem to me like there is a problem with all game shows. Going back to Legends of the Hidden Temple, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Wheel of Fortune. In order for a show to be entertaining and engaging, you have to have the game be a game of skill. And I hope that Beast Games is a skill contest, rather than an exercise in random selection. That's pretty silly to me. All right, so what's the next thing Mr. Beast is doing? Mr. Beast is going to attract some controversy to himself because he's filed a trademark for Beast Financial. He's going to try to create an app for exchanging currency. Mr. Beast is going, if there's like any fraud, the financial apps attract a lot of fraud and hackers. Hackers are always attempting to steal massive amounts of Bitcoin. The North Koreans have tried to, they've successfully stolen billions of dollars in Bitcoin. Um, I could tell that Mr. Beast is targeting Coinbase and the other wallets, for competition. I mean, I think he's a smart guy, but he's going to learn that if he starts a financial company that lets you trade cryptocurrency, he's going to have to sell shares to the public because that's an exercise that requires a lot of capital. I would be curious to see if Mr. Beast hires like a Goldman Sachs, in order to take his media empire private. They say that the value of Mr. Beast's media empire uh, is in the billions. Tom Cruise made big money off of Scientology. No, Tom Cruise lost money promoting Scientology. And Scientology told Tom Cruise that he's not allowed to talk about Scientology during interviews because of all of the negative attention that he was bringing to it. That's not true, but y- y- I mean, the only way you could say that Tom Cruise made money off of Scientology is if you argue that it helped him, which I don't think it did. But he insists that study technology helped him. I did not help him get the pilot's license or school him through Top Gun when he took that study technology course. He says it helped him. I don't think my opinion is that Scientology doesn't help anybody, and I'm not going to change my opinion about that. But it's funny that you brought it up because that's something I always talk about and respond to. If anybody on my page makes a positive Scientology comment or one that's not true, I correct them. Yes, so Mr. Beast is going into the financial services industry. I wonder if he's going to start like a bank that recommends cryptocurrency to invest in. Um, One problem with Mr. Beast going into the financial services industry is that he might uh, bankrupt a lot of small time investors through encouraging them to, purchase cryptocurrencies that they don't need. Okay, I don't do cryptocurrency analysis. I don't like to talk about Bitcoin on YouTube because I think that is risky. Like, I think the censors might shadow ban my channel if I spend a lot of time talking about Bitcoin. But I understand that there's a lot of risk to be made in it. For Mr. Beast to try to go into the world of cryptocurrency through forming an exchange is an example of him playing the crypto game conservatively. I mean, I would be curious as to if Mr. Beast thinks, Bitcoin is really a good investment. I mean, would if Mr. Beast thinks that Bitcoin is a good investment, then why doesn't he pay his guests in Bitcoin for a year? Bitcoin is known for being a volatile asset class. I wonder if Mr. Beast's platform will let you trade futures on or short, the cryptocurrencies. You could lose a lot of money doing that. So yes, in the coming days, I'm going to be curious as to what the state of, Beast Financial is. All right, so who are other YouTubers that I watch? Oh, Seth Fowler. Yeah, Seth Fowler is very entertaining, and Roscoe. They talk about shoes all the time, but the sneaker tubing aspect that I used to focus on is dead. Remember, if you watched this channel, you'll see that I live copped these like 2 years ago, and I was so glad to get my first pair of Air Jordan 4s. But now, sneaker tube is dead, almost. You just can't like make money. YouTubers can't generate large viewership through reviewing shoes. And that's because Kanye West destroyed his brand. I mean, he destroyed Yeezy. He committed career suicide in a way that was obscene. I think Kanye West destroyed the sneakers game because he exposed the fact that there was a bubble in shoes. When Yeezy was blown to pieces, Kanye showed that he had the ability to take down the sneakers industry by draining it of liquidity. Um, yeah, but definitely, like, look at Seth Fowler. He has an interesting clothing line called Apothecary, and his shoe reviews are always good. I would recommend watching him. Now it's like I look at Roscoe also, and it seems to me like Roscoe is heavily into Pokemon cards and sports cards. I have a lot of sports cards, but yeah, they're also risky investments. You have to have them PSA graded, and they're like a gambling game in and of themselves. But I will be curious to see what 2026 will bring to sneaker tube, like Fomer Simpson. What's going to happen to people in the future who cut their teeth on YouTube talking about their sneaker collection, but now if you do a review on a pair of Air Jordan 12s like these, you just don't get the same viewership that you used to acquire in the past, because it's obvious that Yeezy caused a sneaker buying bubble that burned a lot of people. But that being said, I still enjoy sneaker culture. I like my shoes. I wear them. I'm just not purchasing nearly as many pairs as I used to because I don't think that they have any future value, really. I think that sneakers are just not what they used to be on YouTube. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Beast is uh yes. So what other issues are there for 2026 in terms of YouTube content creators? DJI will no longer be able to supply you with equipment. They are toast. You won't, and it that really sucks. Because I think like the best equipment you could film with on YouTube is stuff like this DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Since DJI is a Chinese spy company, probably, Trump is banning it, and content creators will have to spend a fortune to acquire drones that are made in America. And when I say that you're going to have to spend a fortune to acquire drones that are made in America, consider the fact that Skydio is America's premier producer of drones. They cost like tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, yes. If you want to purchase a Skydio drone and shoot a YouTube video with it, it's going to you're going to have to spend through your teeth. Yeah, it's going to leave your bank account in the red, and and that's bad for people like me, Drone Thrust. I'm going to get my drone pilot's license this year, and I'm going to try to make my channel into a monetizable business. Yeah. So what are my predictions for 2026? Who do I think is going to be big in 2026? Well, Steven Spielberg has been one of my favorite directors, since I was in second grade, and he's going to do a film about like an alien invasion. It's untitled yet. I think Emily Blunt is in it. Look out for that one. I think you should be curious. I'm looking out for Steven Spielberg's alien invasion story because it's going to be original content. I mean, this is not like a remake of, the War of the Worlds. I mean, hopefully the promo to this will have more luck than the War of the Worlds promo did. Yes, but there is original content coming out, and there's a slew of sequels. We have Toy Story 5. Let me see on my computer what uh, 2026 entertainment should look like. All right, so the 2026 entertainment predictions. Okay, so, all right. Let me tell you what the 2026 entertainment predictions are from Google AI. Avengers Doomsday, The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan, Dune Part 3, Spider Man, Brand New Day, oh, and Toy Story 5, as I said. Um, yeah, there's a Star Wars, Narnia, and a Pesky Blinders film coming out. Um, in terms of series, there's going to be a Star Trek series, Wonder Man on Disney Plus. Why do we need a Wonder Man superhero? That is such a stupid title. Uh, His and Hers on Netflix. And there are returning series such as The Boys, The Watchers, Wednesday, and The Dragon. Yeah, they're going to return. So yes, there are some interesting trends to look at for 2026. Let me look at 20 the music predictions. All right, 2026 music predictions. All right, so the genre predictions for 2026 are EDM. Uh, we're going to have a new wave of rock, possibly termed romantic rock, that emphasizes live instrumentation. I don't know what romantic rock is. I'll be interesting. It will be interesting for me to learn about it. All right, country music is going to see a diverse range of artists. Yeah, and everybody's saying that AI influenced music. is going to receive a pushback. I mean, if you don't like AI music, don't listen to it. I don't see why you have to have a pushback from AI. And so, yeah, now the buzz phrase that they're using for human created music is it's called live instrumentation and human groove. Fine, if you enjoy listening to music made by people as opposed to machines, that's okay. But you shouldn't tell me that I have to oppose AI music, because I've used AI music on this channel, and I think that AI music is fine. To tell you the truth, I think AI creates better music than a lot of artists out there that have 60 million followers. Um, all right, so let's see. 2026 streaming predictions. Let's see let's see what's going to be big in streaming. Um, in streaming, yes, they say that platforms like YouTube Live and Twitch will continue to evolve. So people like me are going to affect 2026. The fact that I can get, 11 people to listen to me at 3 o'clock in the morning, it tells you a lot about, the entertainment industry. There's going to be uh, intense subscriber competition, amongst the streamers like Disney and Netflix. Yeah, predictions indicate a decline in the stacking of multiple individual streaming services. There will be a return to aggregated content from different providers, such as cable packages. All right. So yes, they say that streaming revenue is going to predict to reach $95 billion. Yes, I think the reason why streaming, live podcasts is popular is that audience want uh, a host like me who's honest with them, who can answer their questions and gives them, their honest opinion about like everything. It's like I don't have a reputation to uphold. All right, so 2026. Let's see horror movie releases. All right, so what are the 2026 horror? Okay, so for 2026 horror, you got Scream 7, Insidious 6, Evil Dead Return, Resident Evil, and Scary Movie 6. There are. So the DC villain Clayface might get his own, you know, series. I'm surprised they don't remake Death Becomes Her. All right, so 2026. All right, so 2026 YouTube trends. Yeah, I can't. All right, so yes, and the most subscribed to people on YouTube are going to be is MrBeast T series, the usual suspects. But the trend. What surprised me about the year 2025 in entertainment was the extent to which it was dominated by MrBeast and Taylor Swift. That's I mean, you'd really have to give your hats off to both of them because they outshined, like all the other celebrities. Yes, the Formula One racing movie, which I'm going to watch after this, um, had a phenomenal year. I always loved Formula One growing up, and I saw it as a glamorous spectacle. And obviously, now the studios realized what I saw in Formula One as a child and decided it was a good idea to finally create a movie that did it justice. Um, yes, I'm pretty sure that, Formula One and MotoGP is going to be big. Obviously, if in the sporting world, I would say that Max Verstappen and Mark Marquez, have had phenomenal years. Max Verstappen hasn't won the drivers' championship yet, but I predict he will. Mark Marquez won the riders' championship, but he recently fell off his bike and broke his collarbone. He has had to miss two races, after winning the drivers' championship which is shocking to me. But yes, I would definitely say that Max Verstappen and Mark Marquez dominated the racing world, perhaps in Europe, at least. I think Mark Marquez should win the Sportsman of the Year from ESPN. I believe that Mark Marquez uh, is was absolutely phenomenal. I in terms of Max Verstappen, I think he's going to win the F1 championship. And in both the worlds of F1 and MotoGP, you're going to see that the regulators force uh, regulations on the cars and bikes to make them safer and for there to be more competition. Um, yes, so 2026 is and concerning 2025, I would definitely say that Shohei Ohtani dominated the baseball diamond and should win the National League MVP. Um, I mean, I definitely think that Ohtani was outperformed Aaron Judge. I think that the Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. However, I hope they do. I would root for anybody, except the Dodgers. It would be nice to see Don Mattingly uh, win a World Series ring finally. He's the only Don Mattingly is the only Yankees player to have his jersey retired, but to have never received a World Series ring. It's too bad he's not receiving it with the New York Yankees. I am talking about the 2025 entertainment landscape. I'm talking MrBeast and Taylor Swift. And the gist of my broadcast today is that 2025 was dominated by Taylor Swift and MrBeast. They outshone all of the other celebrities. Celebrities like Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt were played second fiddle to two upstarts. Those guys are old, and it was bound to happen. But I'm surprised that yes, the biggest celebrity in the world is a game show host, and the second biggest celebrity is a songstress. Yeah, I mean, I would, I think that's an accurate description of both of them. I watched Taylor Swift, back in her MySpace days, and I would never have predicted that she would have gotten as big as she did. It is astonishing that Taylor Swift, came from humble origins, to become the biggest, celebrity in the world. I mean, there's no one nearly as famous as she is. Um, Yes, I mean, regardless of if you like Taylor Swift's albums, you have to admit that she's like the Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson of our time. And I would, further ask the question, why don't we have like a male artist who is as big as Taylor Swift? Why don't we have like a Mick Jagger or an Elvis Presley or a Michael Jackson now? I guess it's difficult to, uh, achieve the level, of fame that Taylor Swift has achieved. That's the answer, and you have to take your hats off to somebody who's capable of achieving those feats. Yeah, Chris Brown, yeah, I mean, I haven't heard a Chris Brown song in a long time, but if you want like an obscure band to listen to that's not as big as Taylor Swift, because I don't like to toot people's horns on my channel, I would recommend listening to the Birthday Massacre. Their album Pathways was phenomenal. The Birthday Massacre should be, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not sure why the Birthday Massacre only has like 100,000 views, 100,000, 100 and like 20,000 subscribers. I think they should have 50 million subscribers, and that their music should be in more movies. Yeah, Chris Brown fell off hard. I mean, I hope he gets back up again. He's a controversial character. We all know that, but I wish him well. Um, yeah, and concerning like why we don't have like a Michael Jackson, from the why we don't have like a male version of Taylor Swift. I think that's because it's tough to get to. It's tough to achieve the heights that she's achieved. Yes, we have Travis Scott. I mean, Travis Scott's an amazing rapper. You have there are lots of famous people out. There are lots of famous male singers, but I think that it would not be true to equate a lot of the you know m- famous male singers with Taylor Swift because they're just not at her level. I mean, Taylor has achieved Elvis Presley-dom, and there certainly is not a male singer who's as big as Elvis Presley. Yes, Bruno Mars. Oh, I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, sure. I'm all for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They are an amazing group. I like the Smashing Pumpkins, Rage Against the Machine, Nirvana, Soundgarden, uh, like Oasis, Maya Marie. There's lots of bands I like that are out there. Um, but again, I would just say that it seems like Harrison Ford stated that America is having a difficult time finding movie stars, and I think that's true. Yes, I mean, Timothy Chalamet is a big actor. He's achieved many, wonderful things, but and, even he would, I don't even think he would say that he's as big as Taylor Swift. I mean, there just aren't a lot of actors who could sell. There aren't a lot of musicians that could sell their rights to Disney for $100 million. I mean, that's just a phenomenal achievement. And in terms of Travis Kelsey, I mean, I hope he doesn't go to the Super Bowl because I'm a Bills fan. All right. So what else are we looking for in the year 2026? The technology landscape should be, interesting. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a new camera and shoot some, more footage for you guys. But I think I'm going to focus on the live streaming because that's where I get most of my viewership from. I think that 2026 is going to be a year for the YouTubers to put a face on their channel, and YouTubers are going to have to come out and explain their opinions, on difficult issues, to their audiences, without getting banned. I mean, it's always a difficult censorship, landscape that you have to navigate on YouTube regarding, copyright and obscenity laws that seem to be more rigorously enforced now. But yeah, I think that yes, 2026 will be the year of the live streamer. You're going to have people like me wanting to trademark their content and copyright everything because 20 the value of intellectual property is just through the roof. I mean, everybody wants to copyright something and sell it for a higher sum than they paid for it because nobody, uh, m- most big streamers just avoid political views. Yes, they do. I mean, most like major streamers don't talk about religion and politics, but I can't prevent myself from talking about religion and politics. I like to be controversial. Yes, you're not going to see the New Heights podcast to talk about Donald Trump acting like an obscene buffoon, because that's just not their game. That is my game, though. Like, did you see the meme Donald Trump posted where uh, he did something so disgusting? I'm not even gonna describe it. He's on like an airplane, and he dumps a bunch of brown gook all over the No Kings protesters. I mean, I'm a Republican, and I find that behavior to be atrocious and obscene. Yes, I see. I talk about everything, and it's obvious to me, like big streamers, like Seth Fowler and the New Heights, and Roscoe. Yes, they avoid talking about those subjects because they're afraid that they're going to alienate half their audience. I'm the type of streamer that likes to put out my views on everything. But that being said, I think I'm fair. I don't when I talk about a celebrity, I'm not criticizing them for committing adultery or getting a divorce. I criticize celebrities for doing engaging in business practices that can be seen of as being not fraudulent, but a little bit disingenuous and shady. I think that's my game plan. I don't think I would ever have a celebrity on my channel because then I would owe it to them to be nice to them. Like, I mean, Joe Rogan has a phenomenal channel. He spends his time interviewing celebrities. I, I would rather report on celebrities than interview them because in reporting on the celebrity, I could be more honest, about how I feel about that celebrity. All right, so what are YouTube trends? Some YouTube trends you should look out for in 26. Oh, a lot of like Christian denominations are creating AI depictions of the Bible. Yes, the Christians are bringing all kinds of biblical figures back through AI. I mean, where through AI, the Christians are depicting Jesus, the Antichrist, the prophets, the angels. It is amazing to me what uh, the Christians are doing with AI. I think that there's going to be a big controversy on YouTube about religious groups using AI to depict prophets because certain religious groups have aconism. Like within the Islamic faith, you can't have any depiction of a prophet. So every time a Christian group uploads their AI version of the Bible, you're going to see that a lot of complaints get filed against them. Like there was a YouTube channel called the AI Bible that got banned. I mean, I'm not sure what they showed. Uh, I think it's called the AI Bible, might have had some violent content. I believe that YouTube, when YouTube sees that there's violent AI content uploaded onto a channel, I think that what they do is ban it, because they don't want to have to deal with the millions and millions of complaints that they're going to receive from people who want to try to destroy, another channel for, terms of service violations. Um, yeah, so I think that there's going to be a big. Someone asked me what are my top fears for 2026. I think the political disagreement in America is going to rip the country apart even more. Um, I believe that in 2026, unfortunately, Vladimir Putin might conquer Ukraine. I'm not sure how many more millions of soldiers Ukraine could lose in 2026. I fear that we're going to see China become more hostile. I think that China is going to conquer Taiwan, and I don't like to predict stock market crashes, but I think that the budget showdown is going to hurt the stock market, and people are going to lose a lot of money who invested. See, and that's one issue. That's a reason why I'm taking aim at Mr. Beast for starting a Beast Financial and attempting to go into the cryptocurrency world. I mean, is Mr. Beast going to make recommendations on which cryptocurrency you should buy on his service? I mean, if he does that, we could sue him if we might be able to sue him for breach of fiduciary duties if his crypto investments go down in value. So, yes, I think that Mr. Beast is going to have a difficult time with his Beast Financial business, just because there's a lot of regulatory hurdles, as they say, that he's going to have to leap over. Congress undoubtedly will subpoena Mr. Beast and haul him before the committee to testify about, Beast Financial. If Congress learns that, Mr. Beast is encouraging kids to invest in cryptocurrency and they go on to lose their investments, a lot of cryptocurrency investors, uh, oh, someone said that Russia was getting their ass kicked. You never really know, but yeah, because I root for Ukraine, I worry about Ukraine more. Perhaps yes, the Russians have lost 1 million soldiers, but they've also inflicted 1 million casualties, and there's all kinds of bad things going on in Ukraine. But yeah, going back to Mr. Beast, I mean, I'm just curious as to what type of services, the Beast Financial will offer, and where am I going to be able to use cryptocurrency to purchase things? One reason why I don't own any cryptocurrency is that it seems to me to be pretty useless. It's like I shop in Walmart most of the time. It doesn't seem to me like I could use cryptocurrency to buy anything in Walmart. Is Mr. Beast going to leverage his Beast Financial to enable me to, purchase things at Walmart? Well, that would be a good business model for him to go into. It's like, yeah, a lot of none of the people I work with have ever used the term Bitcoin. Literally, they don't know what it is. Internet gurus and YouTubers know a lot about Bitcoin because it gets lots of clicks. And it's like I guess anytime you do a video about Bitcoin, you're going to get lots of YouTube clicks. And Mr. Beast understands that. I'm just going to be curious to know, to learn, will Mr. Beast use his Beast Financial Services to enable people to purchase more things with Bitcoin, and how Mr. Beast is going to deal with volatility in the crypto market. Yeah. Also, there's an issue with a lot of cryptocurrencies basically being frauds. I'm not a cryptocurrency expert, but if you look up cryptocurrency fraud on Google, you're going to find hundreds of different cases. All of the cases that you'll learn about on YouTube are issues that are going to affect Beast Financial. But I understand that Beast has a highly skilled team of lawyers who are going to, rein him in and explain what the limitations are. All right, so what do I expect from Taylor Swift in 26? I do not believe that Taylor Swift is going to perform at the Super Bowl, because it's going to be too stressful for her, and I don't think that the Chiefs are going to win. Um, I would be curious as to where Taylor Swift's next live performance is. Taylor Swift doesn't attend the MTV, movie awards because I think she would suck the air out of the room for so many artists. She just doesn't need the publicity. I would be curious to see as to which movies Taylor Swift licenses her music to. Uh, when she licensed her music to It Ends With Us, she got suckered into a lawsuit that she wanted nothing to do with. So I think that experience might have left her, a little bit traumatized. Um, all right. Thank you, audience, for watching this podcast.